Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow members of the Senate, I have the utmost respect for the chair of this committee, Senator Rotundo of Androscoggin, and I've enjoyed many moments next to my seatmate, Senator Duson of Cumberland. I feel like I'm living in a parallel universe. The comments about the virtues of this budget, while there is a lot of common ground, this budget is an abject failure, in my view, to deal with the substantive issues that face the state. This budget deals in one-time bases with some of the crises, providing lip service to these issues while not providing long-term solutions, which our fiscal condition right now would allow us to do. And unfortunately, this budget falls far short of that. As usual, in the Appropriations Committee, we spend long times sitting and listening to the members of the administration, the commissioners come before us and chew up hours of time reading bullet points and scripts about each individual line item within the budget. We give them unlimited amounts of time. This is a budget which they have months to prepare for, and they come in on the day of the public hearing, and we in this legislature give them an hour, 2 hours, whatever they want, to read through every iota, every semicolon of their proposal. And what do we do for the advocates and the citizens of this state? We give them 3 minutes. There's something fundamentally wrong with the budget process that gives its weight to the administration rather than the people of Maine. This budget does not arrest the destruction of our nursing home facilities across rural Maine. As I've said earlier, we have lost, in my district alone, 2 nursing facilities in the last few years. And in rural Maine, this is destructive of communities and it's destructive of families, and yet this administration and this budget codifies that destruction by not dealing with the fundamental problems of nursing home finance, but by giving the Commissioner of Human Services carte blanche to tease out over 4 years payments in so-called rate reform in order to fix this problem when we have a clear and imminent danger of closures not only of nursing facilities but of PNMI's small residential facilities, which we are seeing across this state being destroyed. And yet we have loads of money, record amounts of surplus, and we bow to the altar of one-time funds in order not to solve immediate crises, but in order to just gloss it all over. Mental health is another area where this budget represents all of these one-time funds for this resiliency package, but no ongoing help for people. We need to create a structure where the citizens of Maine have the opportunity who need help with mental health to know that that help is there. And yet, we only provide one-time funding, providing no sense of security for building out an infrastructure that will support mental health services around the state. And then I hear on this floor right now congratulations about the fact that at 2 a.m. on a Saturday morning, the legislature, the Appropriations Committee, did a bunch of dastardly deeds raiding the highway fund, raiding pension income, stealing money from dairy farmers, and then because we're not doing that, suddenly that's a good thing. Really? Is that what we've been reduced to? Making huge mistakes and then patting ourselves on the back for fixing them in the light of day? I have in my possession a letter that most every person in the state Senate received this morning from the chief executive of the state of Maine, which reads like a letter from Vladimir Putin to his Duma, rather than an executive who's charged with executing the laws of a country, of a state, and respecting the independent branch of government that the legislature represents. And here it is, laying down the law about what she will accept and what she will not, and if we do not do these things, by God, nothing will happen. What have we been reduced to in this Senate, in this legislature, where we adopt whatever the administration wants? We kowtow to the administration, we create our processes, we create our systems, we give them carte blanche to introduce everything they want, and we give 3 minutes to the people affected by those policies to make their case, and then they're shut off. This is a deeply flawed budget. It's a deeply flawed process that we have on our budgeting. We need to fix this process. We need to stop what we're doing. We need to assert our independence as the branch of government which represents all of the people. And as messy as it is, as difficult as it all is for us to come together as people who represent all kinds of disparate constituencies all across the state, we need to find common ground. We're very close. We found that on other issues just in the last few days. This does not represent that. This does not represent the best of what we can do as a legislature. And, you know, I would hope that the governor would start focusing on enforcing the laws that we pass, like the Medicare Savings Program, which this legislature passed, and she signed into law, and then she ignored. Child care was mentioned. There was a lot of bipartisan work on child care, and this chief executive chose to ignore the law that we put on her desk and that which she signed and didn't execute. And now we're supposed to congratulate ourselves that we're doing it all again. This is appalling to the people of Maine. I'm appalled that to be a part of this process. I strongly urge you to vote against this motion because we can do better. Thank you, Mr. President.